Well, I mean, don't call the cops. I did see a cop car today. It was an undercover cop or unmarked. It was an unmarked car. And on top you could see the squad number. It was like B and then 12. And I was like, that's not a cop. That's a fucking undercover vitamin.
What?
It's like a Dimitri Martin joke right there.
Was it? I don't even know his jokes.
I don't even understand it.
What do you have for me this time? Hacking into the stock market, closing down a bank, fixing an election. It's all easy.
Right on.
Well, welcome everybody to the first week of NEILvember on the Trash Kings podcast. I doubt that this will actually air in the month, or whatever you call it, in the month of November. But for this month, we are doing NEILvember, where we are watching at least 3 Neil Breen movies. And we're very excited. And so, again, welcome to the Trash Kings podcast. I'm your host, Adam Edwards, joined with Joey Graham, Apocalypse Howell, and Justin Petty, JP. Hello, everybody. So today we watched PASS THRU, the 2016 Neil Breen movie, in which he plays, stop me if you've heard this before, an extraterrestrial being of extreme knowledge who is here to save humanity.
Dark matter, dark energy, quantum physics, the string theory. I can bend time so that I can travel from where we are now to 1,000 years in the future, where I'm from. By bending time, I can compress the travel distance in time from here to here to no time at all.
Pretty good. Does anybody want to give it a shot at describing the plot of this one?
Nope.
Yeah. I walked out for enough scenes that I feel I should be dismissed from this.
Yeah, and Justin was basically huffing vape the entire time. So
I mean,
I didn't see you vaping at all.
There was a bunch of immigrants coming to our country, and Neil Breen showed up as AI to usher them into
from 1,000 years,
AI, which was here to specifically show them that just running from your problems isn't the solution.
Like 2 hits.
Revolting against your government.
and media and corruption.
Oh yeah, he's an alien.
But that's corrupt.
Intelligence this time.
Yeah, there's some stuff to unpack here.
Basically, I'm really condensing it, but that's the crux.
Yeah,
well,
he's an artificial intelligence that's come to eliminate all the bad humans.
Yeah, and he does so. He fucking Hitler's everyone bad in the world. Which he seems to not understand that it's not a self-aware film where he realizes that perhaps murdering or blanking people out of existence is genocide.
That's not Hitlering, though.
Yeah, it's like it's the classic Thanos story, really.
Yeah, this one's weird. This one's weirder because I think this is a later Neil Breen film.
Yeah,
and this movie comes out in 2016, and I don't know how, well, like if he shot it in 2014 or 15 or what?
Well, it was copywritten 15, so
Oh,
Okay. So we're at the end of the Obama era, and he's feeling
right.
antsy. There might be a case to be made that Neil Breen was excited about Trump. I think Neil Breen might be Trumpy.
no. Trump did not get going until 2016.
No. I'm not saying that at all. Like Neil, I could see Neil Breen being excited about a Trump. I'm just saying.
If Trump was,
It was a very
AI, then maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's get off that because I was just making a very dumb statement that I feel like Neil Breen was so mad that he might be excited about Trump at this point. But let's move on. Yeah,
but I think that's a decent point because it's important to remember that this movie was made in 2015. This movie was made before Trump, but it does have a lot of themes of like distrust in the government, distrust in the media, distrust in anybody that's not Neil Breen. And that's very like, it's hard to look at that in 2021, knowing everything that we've been through over the last 5 years. But it's just interesting, man. Like he really hates a lot of people.
he legitimately wants everyone that's vaguely bad to die, which is, it's fine. If Thanos in the Marvel movies, if Thanos had said, I just want all the bad people to die, and there's at least like it's just like the worst 50%, that's basically this movie, which becomes more of like a questionable thing. Like if it's half, this is in this movie, but in a Thanos situation, if you're just taking the bad half, who's not on Thanos' side anymore? It's like
Right.
a gamble, but I like to think I'm on the top side 50%.
That's a good point because Thanos never differentiated between good and evil according to our standards, simply because we need good and evil to maintain balance.
Right.
He was just eliminating the numbers to maintain sustainability.
Right. And for him,
he was more worried about global warming.
He defended himself by saying that
on a universal scale.
Well beyond the earth.
Like Thanos defended himself by saying it was a random 50%. And I think that Neil Breen is saying that it's the worst 50%. And the one thing that this movie falls short on is it doesn't actually address the fact that Neil Breen is the one who decides who's bad.
He is the judge, jury.
This movie really
like
peaked his God complex.
Yeah, this is his peak God complex, and he's got,
which is weird because it's like the one movie that he doesn't dress as Jesus. Pretty sure that guy in the striped shirt is still breathing.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Is he piling up? Oh, the red dot's here, so it's fine.
Okay.
Dude, what the fuck? Are these all like bad people? He just piled them up?
Oh,
I mean, it's really just like 5 people.
Yeah, they just
but
it. But still.
The idea is that he just Nazi'd America. Instead of Jews, it was
really
just
going.
kind of bad people,
waxed his
corrupt people.
You are really.
Which one is his holy mountain?
Actually,
Not
this
this
one
one.
might be the Sermon on the Mount.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of
Because
mountain
he goes
stuff.
to the mountain,
This is his El Topo. This isn't his holy mountain.
presses his hand on the thing, and the tiger appears.
Okay, this is his Mandy.
This is his man.
There's a woman involved, and there's no revenge plot because there's no one. Well, she's murdered, but he immediately brings her back.
Yes.
We had this whole side plot with these kids and this professor that never went
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah.
I couldn't tell you what that was.
They
about.
just didn't show him anything.
No,
No,
they
they
came up at the end because
pulled
they
him
were
at the
wheeling
end,
him through the
yeah.
desert like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
to find I
to
think it was
find
like
Neil Breen, because I think they had been looking for him.
he was the space
So
thing
he is
that they
their
were looking
Jesus.
for. Yeah,
Right.
they were like,
He's
we're
their
finding
space
That red
this
Jesus.
dot
space
was
thing.
like a thing.
Just a weird cloud passing over. What is that red fake flare? Okay, it's gone.
Was that
Did y'all see that?
Yeah, I thought it was like his soul or something, but no, I guess it's.
Was it intentional?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
here we go.
not. Okay, he's dead. And the way they did that composite is really weird. Wait.
There's that dot again.
I have no clue as to how that old man in a hospital and these two children know each other. I don't.
He was their professor. They called him Professor because these 8-year-olds have a professor.
Was there a scene where they interacted as
were
him,
GT.
Professor?
They were on the phone.
No, in the hospital. In the hospital, they went and got him out of the bed and put him in a wheelchair, and they called him Professor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just weird that they established the professor, or they, Neil Breen,
Yeah.
who does everything in these movies, like has this professor character. There's a lot of scenes. They're extremely forgettable scenes with the professor throughout the whole
Apparently, 'cause
movie.
I already forgot them.
Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah.
anything that he's just in that bed, like kind of
He's like
sick.
comatose with a laptop on his lap. Also, I think that thing on the IV thing is just a tape cassette player or a radio.
I wish the professor was
Oh
here.
God!
He lives like a
Imagine
man.
if like he was able to score like one big actor for a movie like this,
He is
and that
Who
old
would
man
be-
was Bradley
He was
Whitford.
so sure this was the area.
Bradley Whitford in a Neil Breen film.
I can see Sam
He
Rockwell.
was so sure that
Oh my
this
God,
was
that
the
would be so
area.
good.
He
Well,
never
now
took
I
the
can
time
see
to
Alec
hospital
Baldwin
bed.
doing it.
Hey, have you found anything or seen something?
To sum up
Usually done
what
with
this
you.
movie is about. It's about immigration. It's about bad people. It's about genocide. It's about aliens from the future. It's about
About
media
fake news.
corruption,
Mhm.
government corruption. It's about poverty in some respects.
It's about heroin.
It's about drug
It's
addiction.
about heroin.
And apparently it's a kids movie also, kids that like space.
Kids that really like space.
So,
It's got a little bit of Stand By Me in there as well.
oh yeah, there's that dead body I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Neil Breen was like 3 dead bodies.
Oh yeah. So yeah, at some point, Neil Breen is an actual human being before his body. I guess his body. I don't really understand. It doesn't make any sense.
I think so. He. It starts out he is a drug addict who lives in the desert.
Right. He's a heroin
And
addict in the
his
desert.
job, he has like a job to clean up the route that like the coyotes take to bring people across the border so that the border patrol doesn't find people sneaking across the border, and he's paid in heroin.
This is a weird thing that I didn't think about until you just explained that part. But the people that are traveling across the border are so messy that they have to hire a desert custodian.
I mean, that's
And,
white
it's-
people. for
and
it.
he's paid in heroin.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they trust him to keep it clean.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So
Okay.
he's paid in heroin,
Mhm.
and then immediately after he's paid in heroin, he overdoses.
Right.
And you see this great shot of like
Obviously,
these
because it's
terrible
fentanyl.
track marks running all the way up his forearm.
Yeah.
Let's not forget him squirting the syringe onto his arm.
Right.
Oh,
He squirts
God.
the heroin directly onto his skin, which is the best way to do heroin.
Right.
Osmosis.
He overdoses, and ostensibly dies in the desert. His soul leaves his body, and then I guess the AI steps in and
The
takes
AI
over
from 1,000 years, the alien AI from
from
okay, so
1,000 light years
1,000 light years
away on the other end of the
alien
tube.
AI.
Which is actually only 30 years.
God, there's so much to talk about in this fucking movie.
If you guys know
And
math.
quantum entanglement, dark
Right.
matter.
Yeah. Yes, at some point he just says stuff like every string theory.
String theory. Yeah, that's a good one.
Wait, did they ever show the scene of him putting the tube together?
Yeah, it's like he's
Yeah.
explaining to his lover with like a hose.
Are they a what? Are they an item? I never got that sense. Unless she's the tiger, because he's definitely into the tiger.
She has
fucking
the
loves
tiger
that
tattoo.
Ice tiger.
Is she the tiger, or she just is in line with whatever the fuck the tiger is? Because I never really understood that.
She's his tiger.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on. But it's a Breen movie through and through.
It's a fucking Breen movie. So I guess let's just get down to it. We'll start with you, Apocalypse. How did you like it?
Yeah, I mean it's a Breen movie, so he's the Joe Dworsky of like B movies.
This is a trash movie. Let's not give this the luxury of calling it a B movie.
I mean, so like
It's a Breen movie.
I think Breen overreaches in a brilliant way every time, and he goes for too much. And you know, I mean, there was a point where I felt like the movie was over, but then it just kept rolling. And I think had he ended it there, I would have been like, yeah, this is a pretty decent movie. But nope. He had to like just beat it into you further and further.
I don't know what the running time on this film was.
I think it's
only 90 minutes. Okay, it's a regular ass fucking.
That's why he
90-minute
had
movie.
to keep beating it, because he did the speech and he was like, "Fuck, we're at 70 minutes."
When that speech was done,
I filled 20
we should
more.
have one more scene and it should have just been over with. But
it could have just been a 20-minute sunset.
That's been his thing in the past, and I feel like if we went back and looked at and analyzed the distance from the manifesto speech that he makes in every single one of his films to the end of the movie keeps getting longer.
Human evolution has ended, and there can be no further advancement. The turning
Gotta have a
point
speech
is
at the end of
now.
a Breen movie, right?
There are
Also, is
genetic
this the
and
end?
psychological limits to the primitive human species, and you have reached those limits.
And this is 2016 from double down, like he's talking about it, and like while he's making a speech in front of the White House or something, there's like all these people are dying or something via satellite. I don't know. I can't remember. We need to rewatch Double Down, I guess. But I think that's like the end of the movie. But at this point in 2016 from 2005, so he's had a decade and he's made 4 other movies, maybe. Yeah, the distance from the manifesto speech to the end of the movie is now like 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So it just keeps getting longer.
This was not my favorite Breen movie.
No.
No, but this one's kind of more of a thinker, I want to say.
Wow.
In a weird way. Because
it really makes you noodle on it.
I found it egregious.
I found it a bit gregarious.
There's weirder implications to the idea of an AI coming to the planet from 1,000 years in the future, an alien AI, and having, you know, a moral compass of from 1,000 years of being in the future, or light years in the future, or whatever the fuck that means, and then coming down to Earth and then importing this morality and deciding who lives and dies based on that. It's interesting. It's a little more interesting than I remember the other ones being. At least as an idea.
It felt like he was building to this. This was his manifesto movie. It felt like to me.
They're all his manifesto movie.
Well,
the manifesto
like,
just keeps evolving.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it feels like I don't know where he goes from here.
Well, the God complex is to the point where he thinks that he's on the level of what an AI would think about the human race 1,000 light years into the future, which I'm
afraid I can't do that, Neil.
Right. It's like, how would you know what that would be thinking? Wouldn't it have any? Well, I mean, it's obviously just Neil Breen's thoughts, but he's putting himself on the level of that thing, which is like incredible.
He's preposterously.
It's preposterous. I mean, yeah, it's preposterous to like an exponential degree. It's
like
insane.
Like the idea that you can be against the corruption of essentially our world elite, which believes in technocracy, which is our technocratic elite, world manipulators who are bringing us into an era where AI seems sentient to us, but it's really a control grid. And the idea that it's like, okay, well, AI is the good guy. The irony is that he's so smart that he thinks AI is going to be the good guy when AI is going to be controlled by the corrupt elite.
Right.
Which proves to me that Neil
this...
Breen's a fucking moron.
Or a genius.
Or
the idea that
Mike, it's not human AI though. It's alien AI.
Right. And like the idea that we're
different
duped
culture.
by this
completely different morals.
Hey, guess what? Some alien civilization from 1,000 light years away
is based on Neil Breen movies.
Shits about you.
Think about it this way.
No, he took over a human body.
Based on this podcast or this whatever this is that you and us talk about. Imagine this podcast recording gets uploaded to whatever thing, and the world is decimated. And this is one of the things that exist and get imputed into an AI that exists for 1,000 light years.
No, this is the only thing
I'm into it.
And now that thing that's way in the future is based on this fucking dumb conversation, and it is imputing this insane genocide
intelligence
onto the sad people of 2016.
I'm gonna dial it back and be a little less punk rock.
Jesus Christ,
Mike, what does that mean?
Well, I have a tendency to be anti. I would love to get in a fight with Neil Breen and get my ass kicked and be like, well, I guess he must be like AI.
What other outcome could possibly happen?
Like, what if I went into the fight thinking I was just going to smoke him, and then he fucking smokes my ass, like at everything. Like his Brazilian jiu-jitsu's better, his stand-up's better, like everything's better.
I bet
stand-up comedy.
There's no way his comedy is better than yours.
If all four of us took on Neil Breen at the same time, it would be like the Neo Agent Smith movie in The Matrix 2.
Dude, that's the next Neil Breen movie right there.
Oh, God, he would be great for the fucking Matrix movies.
Neil Breen is
really
Neo.
Would.
Well, just him as like
the Oracle.
Just in
Wait,
the movie.
Neil,
I don't care
Neil would
where.
have to be Morpheus and Neo at the same time.
Represented by a red dot.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! And then there's a blue dot.
I'm considering changing the logo of Trash Kings to just a red dot. I'm inspired. These movies are fucking phenomenal, and I'm glad that like when we've watched these other ones before, we really haven't had a conversation about them. But it's there's like
They're inspirational for sure.
they're worth a million words.
I'm very excited for this month because I do really want to have conversations about Neil Breen.
You're really selling it, Justin.
This is the only one we haven't seen, so I guess maybe it's exciting. I'm curious how it reacts. Hopefully, we can have like a couple of our other
guests on.
To like kind of experience it with us again, because to bring some freshness to it.
Yeah, I think like Amy would be great to watch a Neil Breen movie if it's like her first time.
It would be great. I've never watched a movie with Amy, like Neil Breen movie.
I feel like bringing Giles on would break his brain. It would be.
Oh God, has he not seen any of these before? We need to ask him if he wants to come on.
Yeah,
Kevin is a big fan of Breen movies.
Oh,
he's only seen one.
Which one did he watch?
He doesn't remember which one it's called.
They're all the same.
He thinks that we watched it together, and I was like, I didn't go to a theater with you. He apparently watched it at a draft house.
Oh God!
They played a Breen movie at a draft house.
Where else would they play it? Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow.
Anyway.
Let's. I mean, a lot of these questions it's weird because we made this for Neil Breen, but a lot of these questions don't work for Neil Breen movies. Like best performance, it's obviously Neil.
Weird.
It's just him.
I mean, that's the thing about this. I guess it's like we have a set of questions that we go through for each movie, and some of them work and some of them don't for each movie. But Neil is kind of the answer for all of them, and so they're all really obvious. Like, did you like it? It's like, yeah, it's Neil Breen. Favorite part? Probably something to do with Neil Breen doing heroin.
What was it lacking? More Neil Breen.
Best performance, Neil Breen. Well, what was it lacking? Neil Breen. What was the point? I think it's Neil Breen's manifesto, obviously. I mean, should anyone remake this?
Should anyone remake
100% yes. Neil Breen should just make this exact movie again.
But with more money.
The bees
with a higher budget.
Yes, Breen.
Yes. All the bees are Breen.
All the bees.
Is it how many bags of trash? It's 5 bags of trash because it's insane.
5 bags.
5 bags of Breen.
The best line, okay.
5 bags of trash that all rip open to reveal that they were Neil Breen inside of them.
Okay,
just brewing in some brine.
This is a little bit different of a podcast, but okay. The only thing I wrote down.
Brine.
The only thing I wrote down for a quote is, "Isn't that corrupt?" Which, okay, can we just talk about that scene for a second?
Yes.
So, it's in the back. This is before the manifesto or after? It's after the manifesto.
No, it's before the manifesto. It's before the manifesto.
Yeah, this is before.
Okay,
this was like the leading into all of the green screen stuff. It was like the whole third act was like all green screen.
Right. This was like right before people start disappearing.
Yeah. So Neil Breen shows up to a, I guess, corrupt politician's house. Yes? I guess that's the implication. He changes.
Which just walks into a rich neighborhood. Because
he murders.
Like he's at 2 different parties. And it's almost supposed to feel like a montage of him talking to different people at different parties.
Right. That's an interesting point because that didn't recur to me at all, but it's perfectly.
There's some edits where it feels like it's 2 or 3 different parties, and then there are some edits where it feels like it's just a reverse shot with a really bad green screen.
I just thought it was different parts of the house with the same people.
It's hard
to tell. But the people kind of change. You're right. I don't know. It's weird. It doesn't really matter, ultimately. The thing is, he shows up at the gates at a house, and that's what makes me think it's one house, because he's just in one spot mostly. But regardless, he shows up to the house, blanks out of existence the security guards.
Because ACAB.
All cops are bastards, and including security guards for wealthy people's homes, I guess. then changes from his tuxedo, from his Canadian tuxedo into a shitty suit, from Men's Warehouse, and then goes in to discuss things.
An influence on fellow politicians.
Like it's Heisenberg.
To vote my way.
Right.
For a payoff, of course.
Isn't that corrupt?
And Neil Breen showed up and no one questioned it. They were just like letting him hang out with him.
It is also important to note that this entire sequence, Neil Breen is filmed on green screen, and all of these sets it's green screen. That's all it is. They're not actually in a house. He's not standing in front of a house.
Yeah, he only has that access to that one house that looks like an apartment or whatever you want, or a hospital. It's just his house. I'm pretty positive that he makes to look into every scene, unless it's in the desert. Which this movie reminded me more of Double Down, and it sort of made me happy, except for he didn't have the is it a Ferrari?
Yeah, where his friend got shot.
It felt like Neil was moving out of an apartment and wanted to film there.
It always feels the same.
What a concept.
This is Neil's dickhead.
God, yeah. No, I'm pretty sure that's
the myth of the movie called Dickhead.
Does that movie exist? I don't know. I'm almost positive this is the same fucking house from Fateful Findings that has the pool in the back that they use. That's the same movie, because there's a hospital scene in that movie. I'm almost certain.
Yeah.
And then there's definitely like an empty room, several laptops, and Double Down and Fateful Findings. And this is it's got a little throwbacks to the older films where there was like a lot of laptops and screens without any power on. And this has quite a few laptops. It's got canned goods, which are
but not tuna.
It doesn't have any tuna. He's moved on from tuna. But it was weird that there was no tuna, because there was a lot of other stuff. It's like creamed corn and creamed beans and
I
stuff.
think he was eating tomatoes at one, like canned tomatoes.
Canned tomatoes, yeah. So
and then he made them float.
Yeah.
That's pretty epic.
So he's at this like party.
Right.
And it's 3 other people, and he just shows up. He's just standing there with them. They don't acknowledge or question his sudden appearance at this party.
Well, he's an AI.
I use the term party very loosely because it's just 3 people talking.
Yeah, he's not just with a group of people at a party.
No,
the group of
3
people is the party.
Yeah. And they're talking, like, at one point it's a politician, at one point it's like a medical insurance person, at one point it's
like
something else, and they're all talking about how they're use their power
they're manipulating
power
markets or power
to influence people to extract information, money, whatever it is. The health insurance guy said that they could have cured cancer 75 years ago, but they realized it wasn't profitable, so they just didn't. And
but hey, Adam, isn't that
look, I agree that stuff happens. I think 75 years is egregious. That's all I'm saying.
And that's the appropriate egregious.
Right.
Gregarious. No one's being gregarious in that scenario. What would they figured out how to cure cancer in 1940? What, 6?
Around the time penicillin came out is when they cured cancer.
Penicillin actually cures the same thing.
Did anybody try giving cancer penicillin?
That's a good question.
No. Nobody tried that.
No,
did try ivermectin.
I thought it was ivermectin all along.
So these people are explaining how they abuse their power in various ways. And Neil Breen just interjects and he just goes, "But isn't that corrupt?"
These places are
I guess
so
isn't that
vulnerable
corrupt?
and unprotected. And
and there is no way they can keep up with the technology.
Isn't that corrupt?
And then it cuts to another person explaining how they abuse their power for about 2 minutes. And then Neil Breen again interjects, but isn't that corrupt? And then it cuts to another person.
You know what it
who
reminded
again
me of?
explains how they abuse their power for about 2 minutes.
But he changes it this time. He doesn't do it more than twice. He says, I can't remember what he says after that, but it's like basically.
I think he says, but isn't that an abuse of power?
Nothing the customer can do about it. We have the backing of the politicians.
I don't think he's going to.
Medical research could have cured cancer and other diseases 75 years ago. We won't let that
75?
We.
Oh, he's going to say it again. He's going to say it again.
Isn't that cheating the public?
Oh, it was
cop out.
It reminded me of like that. Thank you for smoking.
But he does it one more time, Mike. Yeah. He does it one more goddamn
No,
time.
he does it 2 more times, guys.
When they're all sitting at the table at and they represent the ATF.
Yeah.
And like that,
with the famous bald comedian guy, I can't remember his name.
David Tell?
No. What's the guy's name from Anchorman?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
Whatever, he's in Thank You for Smoking, and that's the only scene I remember from that movie. I saw it in theaters and I haven't seen it since.
Oh, Thank You for Smoking is a fantastic movie.
It's a good movie.
I've never rewatched it.
Yeah, it was cool.
I remember liking it. Who directed that? Was that fucking what's his name? This kid? Up in the air guy?
Seems like that would be right. It's weird. We all have computers in front of us.
Yeah,
I don't want to type
shit up.
I'm not looking shit up.
Jason Reitman.
It is that guy, Reitman.
Yeah, that's his name. Love that guy.
That was like his first thing, and now what does he do? He's doing a Ghostbusters movie. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He should direct a Neil Breen movie.
So is this new Ghostbusters movie supposed to take place after the girls' Ghostbusters?
I don't think it acknowledges the girls' Ghostbusters movie.
But the girls' Ghostbusters movie acknowledges the first two.
Yes, that's true, but this one does not acknowledge that one existed.
So
maybe it'll start with them busting the girls' Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, maybe. They'll start by breaking it. They'll make it canon somehow. They'll be like, oh, that was a comic book or a movie about Ghostbusters that happened.
Or they'll all wake up and it was a dream.
Right, exactly.
So anyway,
what else was there to talk about in this movie?
I mean, we kind of like, this is a weird podcast because like we covered all of it. Like we covered our rating. We covered, unless somebody disagrees with 5 bags.
No. Blasphemy.
No.
Yeah, it's a perfect 5.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the gold standard.
It's insane. The thing is like I want to watch some of the other ones to see if they're 6 bags because that doesn't even exist.
Well, but it has to. And so like I said this while we were watching the movie, but I genuinely think it's true. This is the worst Neil Breen movie, but it is also the most Neil Breen movie.
Right. It's like a Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Motel or hotel.
Well, it's like, how do you ask a Christian to rate the Bible on Amazon?
Oh, I'll fucking do it.
You rate the Bible on Amazon? Because I really want to now.
Don't get me started.
Would you go and give it a review?
That's like asking me to rate the Zapruder film on Letterboxd.
Oh God, the Zapruder film on Letterboxd is still my background on Twitter. Gosh, let's see. I wrote down the tiger. Shout out to that tiger.
Shout out to the tiger.
Yeah, I don't understand what it means at all.
Well, I think she was the tiger. the tiger was representative of what he was searching for.
You think?
No, he wasn't searching for anything.
AI is still
They were
looking for
searching.
companion.
He was searching for
He was-
sensitivity. And
He was their savior.
no, because at the end he told the lady that she could teach him sensitivity and empathy.
So the
AI had more to learn.
Yeah.
So the AI was a little bit cognizant that genocide was maybe bad. So
Yeah,
it was
it was
looking
like he
towards
finished
the tiger.
genociding and he was like, did I do a whoopsie?
Yeah.
Fuck.
It is wild that these movies can transcend like the need all the bees, to be honest.
You
It's-
had a Steve Urkel moment.
Yeah. It's just there's no boobs, there's no butts, there's no boats.
Nope.
There's maybe a bird. There's definitely no butterfly knives.
I saw no
blood.
bird.
If there was
There's
blood, it's
some
minimal. Bods, nope. Blue filters, no, nothing. Bigfoots,
There's
no. Brits.
some blasts.
There's not even a boardroom, and this movie is apt to have a boardroom.
Yeah.
But there's Breen.
There's just
Breen.
there's just so much brain. Like, and there's people with boobs. There's people with butts.
That's true.
There's probably
people with
people that
bodies.
own boats in this.
Yeah.
We got some back in this.
We
definitely
did
got some back
Yeah, we
action.
got that back action. Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Action.
I'm just amazed that like I don't care. Like there's no need for any blood or guts or anything weird in this. There's no need for knives. It's just
It's
brain.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's B for beautiful. Another shout out to the welding arc effects.
Yes. And the suicide gun effect.
Yeah, and the gun effect, the any fire explosion effect in these movies is fucking unreal. Like, I'm pretty positive just it's Neil Breen on YouTube with After Effects that he downloaded, and he didn't even pay for good effects. Like he bought or he found something on YouTube with explosions and like a green screen, and he did it himself.
When
Yes.
he lit up the welding torch was the best part.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Shout out to that fucking welding arc torch, maybe arc torch. I don't know, maybe more. Yeah, the only fault this movie has is maybe the manifesto speech being too early. But is it a fault because then you get on this weird other kind of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fault. I think it's just him exploring the space.
It's exploring the cinematic 90 minutes that he gives himself.
Yeah.
And God bless him for I don't think any of these movies really go beyond 90 minutes.
No. And
What
they
were y'all's
shouldn't.
favorite shots?
That tiger on the bluff? I don't know. Him doing heroin, probably.
No, my favorite shot is him praising himself.
Oh God, the
Spinning
fucking
around.
oh we didn't talk about the drone shots that are really wide.
Yeah, there was the
angle
awkward
fisheye.
fisheye drone shot.
Is that a drone? What is this?
Yeah, it's like a weird like 360 camera or something.
Oh God, he spent way too much on this really bad drone.
Like, what's the opposite of a fisheye?
I am artificial intelligence from far in the future. I have come here to cleanse the human species of their
I mean, that's what a
failings
fisheye does. Is what's
and
happening right
decline.
there.
For they are far too weak of spirit and intelligence to do it themselves.
Yeah, they're so wide that they start to look like one of those goofy kind of shots where like people are walking and it looks like they're on the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has like such a big bend to it. Yeah, those are pretty good. It made me want to start a religion. So yeah. Neil, do you think they built those rock rings? Because that would be the biggest production design element he's ever done, in my opinion.
Yeah, like getting a couple of students to spend a couple hours making spiral rocks.
Yeah,
That's
in the desert.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're just sitting out there.
I bet you he left them.
Yeah, why would you clean that up?
I just hope I get to meet him one day.
God, I I wish he would do cons and stuff. That would be amazing. We need to
It's
get. We need
weird
to put
that
our.
he's such a recluse. He has so much to say, but he doesn't want to say anything outside of his movies.
Right.
It's weird. If he was, I'm fairly certain he lives in Nevada.
Maybe his movies do his speaking for him.
I mean, yeah, that's the chosen medium that he's picked.
Yeah, it's weird to find this kind of personality and them not actually just love talking all the time.
Well, he's like I said before, I saw this somewhere. I didn't come up with this idea, but he's like the trash David Lynch. It's like he has weird things to say and he goes about it in a weird way. Like his way is obviously like not like particularly a well-versed artist from the perspective of like a well-versed artist, but he tries so hard, and it's almost like he is so bad at filmmaking that it sort of becomes metaphorical.
Yeah,
it's really hard to describe, which makes
almost
it even
like comes
better.
back around. Is it bad or is it genius?
Yeah, well, it's like it's definitely like accidental genius. I don't think he realizes what he's doing at all, which is fantastic.
Before we wrap up, does anybody have any final thoughts, jokes,
I don't know.
anything?
I think we're all devastated by Pass Through.
Yeah. I'm just like looking up like at the it's coming, the sound's coming from up there.
God damn it.
But it's weird. You know what? Fuck my taxidermist. It took me a while to realize this, but every animal head he mounts for me, he does it with a condescending look. So now I just have a wall of deer judging me. Fuck my taxidermist.
Are you saying that your taxidermist makes it is an asshole, so he makes all your animals?
Well, let him finish.
No, I think Joey's right. I didn't even think about that. Good point.
He's making these animals for you, and with like kind of testy looks.
Yeah,
so I think that this is all about perspective. Is
at
the taxidermist the asshole, or does the taxidermist think Mike's
obviously it's my taxidermist?
Well, that is our review trash of Neil Breen's Pass Through.
A 5-star, 5 trash,
5 bag review of Pass Through.
Join us next week as Adam reviews the newest Taco Bell menu item.
Oh, really? Are you gonna do
Is there a new Taco Bell menu item?
No, I mean they had one last week. I went the other day and it wasn't very good. So
You go all the time.
A Caribbean taco or something.
I think that is something that we can definitely add to this podcast.
Yeah, Adam, you gotta do this. You gotta bring him on.
I'm agreed.
It would have to be at the beginning though, or else the taco is going to be cold.
Well, then do it at the beginning. I mean, we start fucking recording at 3.
Yeah,
we just opened the podcast with you doing the new Taco
doing
Bell
mouth
review.
sounds. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Trash Kings podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Trash Kings 126, our website trashmoviekings.com. JP, Apocalypse, Joey, either of y'all have anything you want to plug before we hop off?
Mike.
If you're listening to this and you get this far, I'm working on a music video right now. You should watch it.
Who is it for?
The Suffers. It's called Yada Yada. It'll probably be out by the time this for the 2 people that listen to the end of this podcast. There you go. You've probably already seen
Yada
it,
Yada music video. I assume it'll be on YouTube. I don't know.
Maybe it won't be.
We'll put it in the episode notes.
Where's it going to premiere? Do we know yet?
I don't know. They always go with Billboard or something weird. NPR.
NPR.
Follow Apocalypse Howl on Instagram. He is private, so you're gonna have to request it. But
yeah, he has to.
If you're not a troll,
Send him a softly worded message.
He has to look at your profile and decide. Not unlike Neil Breen's AI character from the future, whether you're good enough to be a follower.
It's simple. If your profile screams, "I'm a real person," then
take stock of your shit on your profile. Look at yourself in the mirror, and if you seem like a bot, then he's probably not going to accept you.
Well, if I was AI, I would, but I'm not. I'm a real flesh human being.
Don't pose.